So I'm disappointed with the Chuck E. Cheese remodels. So for those of you who don't know, Chuck E. Cheese has been removing their animatronics from many stores for quite some time now. And the changes that they have made really have taken away from the nostalgic and family-friendly environment that many of us, including myself, grew to love. I grew up with the animatronics. I thought they were pretty cool then, and I think they're cool now. The new design is, in my opinion, bland and somewhat sterile, and it really lacks the beauty and charm that Chuck E. Cheese once had. The dance floor is, different, but it doesn't really capture the essence of what Chuck E. Cheese really is, in my opinion. The removal of, old and nostalgic games is disappointing, and this is coming from someone who really does like the, arcade games. I have many arcade videos, so I do like the newer games, but at the same time, it is very disappointing to see the classic and nostalgic games being removed, and Chuck E. Cheese has many games that you won't see at other arcades. So to remove games like Buzzy Buzzy Bee or Popcorn is disappointing because you're not going to find this at other locations. So if Chuck E. Cheese removes it, then it won't be anywhere. Now, it is nice to know that some places still do have some classic games, but some classic games are being removed, so that is disappointing. And it's really essential for businesses to understand and preserve the essence of what made them special and unique in the first place. I do understand that businesses have to evolve, but it's really disappointing that these remodels are happening. So that's kind of like a summary of the remodels in general, but I want to talk about the Chuck E. Cheese remodel of Northridge. Northridge is a very iconic location because they have some really cool art. They have animatronics, and it's just a nice 80s style location that never really changed until recently. And I want to give corporate kudos for keeping the animatronics and keeping some of the stuff in the corners, and I do believe that they are going to have some of the old artwork, as I've heard. I don't know if that's true, someone please correct me, but they did get rid of the awning and the checker tiles, so that's kind of sad, but overall a win is a win. They did keep the animatronics, and even if nothing else is preserved, at least they kept the animatronics, so that's pretty cool. So they have kind of a 1.5 remodel, we want to call it. But my complaint is that they didn't do this with more locations. Like, why did they get rid of so many 3 stages? Like, the only 3 stage that I've had the pleasure of visiting is the 3 stage in Phoenix, and I saw it before the remodel and after the remodel. And when I saw Phoenix after it was remodeled, it was just really disappointing because these 3 stages are very rare, or were rare, but now they're rare. So like they should have put the dance floor in. There's definitely enough room to put the dance floor in at Phoenix. Like, I don't see why they couldn't have implemented the 1.5 remodel at more locations. So I do appreciate that Northridge kept their animatronics, so they have like the retro animatronics, but they also have the dance floor. I don't see the necessity of removing the animatronics at so many locations when they could have had the dance floor with the animatronics. So I do applaud corporate for doing what they did with Northridge, but I think it's very disappointing that they didn't do this with more locations.